What is up, guys? Once again, welcome back to the Roybo universe, and I hope so you all are doing fine. And this video is particularly in English today because there were a lot of international audience who are willing to listen this topic, important topic, in English. So topic is very clear that why the Samsung Snapdragon processor phones are way more faster than that of Samsung Exynos processor phones. So without any delay, let's go ahead and clear this issue so that you can get a clear idea and imagination of what's going on inside the Samsung manufacturing process. And if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing because the channel is all about technology, gadgets, innovation and all the tech around the world. So as you all know that the base flagship of this year from Samsung was S20 lineup, so we will be talking everything based on S20 lineup because they have two variants of S20 lineup. One is Exynos and another is Snapdragon. So how big is the difference? Samsung Galaxy S smartphones set the tone for years Android flagship, and S20 lineup was no kind of exception. But the North American market gets Qualcomm latest and greatest smartphone Snapdragon 865 chipset, but the Europe and Asia have to content themselves with the Exynos 990 chipset, which sucks in the competition that if it has been prepared to fight against Snapdragon 865. So traditionally Exynos variant has always lagged behind the Snapdragon version, and this time the history repeated itself once again. What is the difference between Snapdragon 865 and Exynos 990 chipsets? So common things between them are Snapdragon 865 and Exynos 990 include the use of 7nm process as well as the lack of integrated modem. Being built on a 7nm process, the chipsets are fast yet power efficient and have better thermal management. Everything else, however, is different. To start with, the two chipset use familiar ARM big little architecture, but the core layout is drastically different. The Snapdragon 865 make use of ARM's latest Cortex A77 core, and the Cortex A77 offers up to 20% performance boost over the Cortex A76. While Snapdragon 865 has one A77 core clocked at 2.84 GHz paired with 3 A77 core at 2.50 GHz and 4 A55 core at 1.80 GHz, performing less demanding tasks to conserve battery life. Similarly, the Exynos 990 opts out for Cortex A55 cores blocked at 2.0 GHz for background tasks and don't require much power. Paired with these two Cortex A76 cores running at 2.50 GHz and two Mongoose M5 cores at 2.73 GHz, it is worth nothing that the Mongoose M5 is Samsung's last fully custom design. With every successive generation, there is a significant step up in graphic performance too. Traditionally, Qualcomm's Adreno GPU has led up to the Exynos competition. In fact, Samsung has teamed up with AMD to boost the GPU capabilities to future Exynos chipset. The Exynos 990, however, shipped with Mali G77 GPU. When we talk about numbers, chipset enhancement are moot point if they don't translate into real world gains. All tests were run under similar condition between S20 Plus running 865 and S20 Plus running 990 chipset. Keep in mind, the 990 chipset in India lacks 5G modem, though this should have no bearing on performance scores. And this is fact. All the tests were multiple times for the account for any performance and were conducted with both Full HD and WQHD resolution. So Samsung S20 Plus Full HD at 60Hz. The Galaxy S20 Plus ships with the display set to Full HD resolution at refresh rate of 60Hz with lightest battery drain out of the three possible configurations. It makes sense that Samsung sets the phone optimized to deliver the best possible battery life. Starting off with GPU focused Geekbench benchmark, the Cortex A77 core in the Snapdragon variant pull ahead ever slightly with a score of 811.4 point versus the 764 point scored with the Exynos version. This difference becomes even more pronounced when we switch over the multi-thread test. The Core Cortex A77 core employed by the Snapdragon 865 are a generation ahead of the Cortex A76 core on the Exynos 990. So it's a game over for Exynos when they talk about the competition with the Snapdragon 865. Like, we tested out the GPU performance using a combination of GFX Bench and 3D Mark. Interestingly, the Exynos 990's Mali G77 GPU performed significantly worse than we had already expected. With the display set to Full HD 60Hz mode, we observed that the Exynos chipset GPU lagged behind almost like 50%. And we believe that the chipset is performing some kind of thermal throttling to optimize for battery life over all our performances. In 3D Mark, the difference wasn't as drastic, however the 865 still managed to pull ahead. Finally, we put the two phones through the benchmark to get better understandings of system performance. The benchmark comprehensively tests out multiple fixed system performance from browsing to camera as well as storage. Benchmark gives us an overarching view of the phone's performance levels. Here once again, the two phones are almost even matched, but the 865 again manages a slight lead, and it will always be on lead. I suspect the Quad Cortex A77 core have a lot to do with the superior performance, elsewhere the two phones were evenly matched with the 8GB of fast RAM and UFS 3.0 storage. Now when we talk about 120Hz thing, a key selling point of S20 Plus is newly fangled 120Hz display. The benefits are immediately apparent when the negativity are interfacing or navigating interface. Scrolling is a lot more with fluid icons, remain track sharp, and like when even scrolling fast. Of course, your experience in apps is very smooth, and not every app support the high refresh rate mode. Then we talk about the CPU. Switch over to the graphics benchmark, and we already saw that the Snapdragon once again performed way better than that of the Exynos processor. So that's all. Like, when we talk about which variant is faster between the Snapdragon and Exynos variant of the LSC S20 Plus, the number confirmed that we have ever suspected. For day-to-day use, CPU heavy applications, the performance difference is minimal, and most users will be more satisfied with either phone. But GPU bond, however, is very different story. The Adreno 650 GPU delivers significantly better performance across all combinations, and it is a clear cut that the Snapdragon 865 is a winner than that of Exynos 990 in the Galaxy S20 series. So if the best performance is the key criteria for you, then you should go for the Snapdragon 865 than that of the Galaxy S20 Plus with Exynos 990. And if you guys are not getting this variant, Snapdragon variant, in your region, make sure you try to import this from other country. And if you are not able to do so, you may go for some other OnePlus devices that supports 865 Snapdragon processor, because processor is the heart of smartphone, and this is very important when you are going to invest almost like $900 to $1,000 for a smartphone. You are investing up to $900 to $1,000 for a smartphone, and yet you are not getting a performance that is at peak. You are facing heating issues, and you are facing so many lags. You are facing some issues that other people are enjoying with the same smartphone at different region in the world. And it really sucks to be owning a Samsung smartphone with Exynos processor while other people are owning that same smartphone with Snapdragon processor, are enjoying lot of benefits rather than you. So it will be better if you consider Snapdragon processor in any smartphone, and if you are a Samsung fan, then make sure you import this. So that's all for today, guys, and that's all for this video. And make sure, if you like this video, please hit that like button, comment any queries you have on the comment section, and share this video, which is completely knowledgeable, with your friends, so that they can make this doubt clear that why Snapdragon processor on Samsung devices are way more faster than that of Exynos 990 chipset on Samsung devices. And don't forget to subscribe the channel before you leave. Thank you.